Working inside of Machine and Studio One or any DAW that you choose to use, such as Logic Pro, Pro Tools, Cubase, anything like that that support third-party VSTs. Just working with Machine in general, it can be a different workflow. This is a song that I'm previously working on. It's like a trap style beat, and the workflow is a little bit different. I get a lot of questions from several people about how to get Machine, the workflow working with, Studio One or whatnot. So, I mean, basically, you just have to understand both workflows. That's the thing. Studio One is more so your linear workflow, and Machine is more so your patterns and scenes type workflow. But Machine is trying to move into the linear workflow. There was some previous updates that allowed this to happen, but it's still pretty much scenes and patterns, as you can see here. I have everything is linked by scenes and patterns. They just made it easy for you to extend the scene in the scene window versus you having to go to the pattern section to extend a pattern or whatnot. So, for instance, this section right here, on your machine, and it really doesn't matter which machine you have, this is pretty much the same software. So if you have the Micro or the MK1 or 2 or the Studio, this is pretty much the same. So we're gonna just study from this scene here, or looking at the computer on the screen. So basically all my scenes is pretty much in song mode, and my scenes are linked together where they change and do different things, hence the different patterns that switch up, right? So I got this section right here where everything kind of it changes up, but my pad here, well, my pattern here, you know what I'm saying? So what I did was I just made this pattern 16 bars long. I could have made this 8 and then another 8 and it do something different, but you can switch up and do whatever you want. So it's really not, it's not the same way of working all the time. So I guess in that sense, I built that to react as a linear workflow, because I made it 16 instead of just 8 and then duplicated that. But this here, I'm going to duplicate this because I didn't want any of that to cut out, because I'm just listening to it now. But yeah. So I got my 808 and all my drums going through the machine right now. So Machine is handling all of the heavy, all of the heavy hitting stuff. So let's go to the top and see what this sounds like. I got a few elements in here, some stuff from some everywhere, actually. That's something I just bounced and put effects on top of and bounced again, and most of those vocal samples come from Output, the XL plugin that you can get in your contact player. just had this idea the other day, and I'm actually submitting this to TV, and I think this is probably about maybe 2 minutes long, but I'm sure I will get an email about this from somebody, and we could work out something. Yeah, so the key here is to switch up and do things every so often. And as I'm playing this, it's starting to get repetitive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding things to different sections. And you know, I have you heard several changes so far, but this is too long. You know, the first 8 bars of this like this is cool, but then once it comes back around again, you need to do something a little bit different. So that's what I'm going to do. And this section, I labeled it different. It's supposed to do something different. I think that's when I moved it here. Yeah. This is supposed to be the cutout. When things cut out. Yeah. So that's the whole goal for this song here. Nothing extravagant. I just want to show you guys what it is when working with Maschine. You can definitely achieve a workflow, a nice workflow, and each pattern is doing something totally different. Well, this same thing, and this one's the same thing, and my pattern 4 and 3 have something different going on. And I label these things a little differently too, because a lot of times when you're creating this stuff, this is what you will see: pattern 2, pattern 4, 5, 6. And when you do it like that, it makes it hard for you to memorize what everything is, unless you just identify your beats, your different sections of the song by pattern numbers. And if you're good in doing that, that's great. But you can also go in here and just double click and rename whatever you want it, just so you can remember what that is. So I'll try to relabel my patterns and scenes according to what they're doing. So what I did here was I said cut bass, because this is the section where my bass is I cut the bass out. So that makes it easy for me to memorize that part right there. And then I got this right here. Well, my scene says clap it up. Well, because this is where I introduced the clap in this section towards the end. You can also label your groups here, whatever you want actually, which is pretty cool, so that you can also understand where all your groups are. So that's really the main thing. That's the key. All right. If you guys have any questions, please feel free. Let me know. I have a tutorial on this subject here, learning Maschine. I'm teaching you the basics from start to finish, where I insert this as a plugin inside of Studio One. But the course starts out as just showing you the basics, with the machine itself, learning the functionality and where everything is and what most of the buttons do, and we build a small beat or whatever just to show you how everything works, and then we also bring it as a plugin inside of Studio. And I also show you how to use some of those plugins or even third-party plugins within Studio, Maschine Studio, because you can do that too. Some of you guys don't understand that Maschine is a full production platform, and it pays to understand how it works. A lot of people see videos and they think it's pretty cool to have one, but a lot of us don't know how powerful this thing really is. So in the video, I'm just showing you basic stuff as to what you can achieve in inside of a Machine Studio, and basically, and that is to just get you started. And I have more videos where I just do stuff here and there in Machine here. And just hope you guys enjoy that. Look at that. Let me know. I know this video was probably like, you know, like boom, like in the middle of like, okay, so you didn't really show me anything, but I just wanted to show you guys the beat and, you know, the progression and things like that. So again, if you got any questions, let me know. It's your boy L up from ksound.com. Remember, music is art. You as the artist, paint your picture.